What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So, unfortunately, I did not make a lot of friends on Twitter when I criticized Matt Ryan on what he did versus the Saints last Sunday. And in this video, I'm going to kindly address the criticism that I am making on Matt Ryan and what I saw from him last Sunday. But before we get into that, there's only one thing I do apologize for to everyone watching this, is I do apologize for spilling out all my emotions everywhere on Twitter. Everywhere. I mean, I'm just saying things I shouldn't. I'm just being ridiculous on Twitter. And I realize I have gone too far. And I will try my best to just lay off Twitter, watch the game, and respectfully say what I saw. Lesson learned. Now, in this video, I do not want to cause any trouble with any Falcons fans because I know Matt Ryan is a fan favorite. In fact, I love Matt Ryan. That's another thing I wanted to get into before we go into my criticism and what I saw from Matt Ryan, and frankly throughout the 2020 season. I do support Matt Ryan. I do love Matt Ryan. I have like 2, maybe even 3. There's like a jersey I'm pretty sure I have. I just can't find it. I have like 2 or 3 jerseys of Matt Ryan. And I make videos saying good things about Matt Ryan. Like why he should have been on the all-decade team. Why he could win 2020 League MVP. Stuff like that. And then in almost every single video, I mean, you guys know it. Like I'm saying, hey, Matt Ryan looked good in this game. He is still one of the best decision makers. He has one of the more accurate arms in the league. He's actually been a little more mobile than we all thought he was. So I usually praise Matt Ryan in my videos and my podcast and Dirty Bird discussions. Usually I praise Matt Ryan. So I am not a Matt Ryan hater. It's just simply what everyone says as soon as you say one bad thing about a certain player that they like, and I get it, you want to defend your player and stuff, but just because I am criticizing Matt Ryan does not mean I'm a hater and that I'm not a real fan and that I don't watch the game. Like, that's just not what it is. Simply, I love Matt Ryan, but there's something I wish he would get better at moving forward. And in this video, I want to make sure I kindly address this without causing any trouble, starting right now. Okay, so what is my criticism on Matt Ryan during this game versus the Saints, and frankly, throughout the whole 2020 season? My criticism that I'm seeing on Matt Ryan, that I hope he changes moving forward, is he is making the game-winning drive a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And I will explain why by showing you these clips. So, against the Saints. Now, let me address, running it on 3rd down and 2, I think, with Todd Gurley was a terrible play call by Dirk Cutter. I agree. That was an awful freaking decision by Dirk Cutter. I don't know why you would do that, and it puts us in a really bad spot to win the game. Not an awful spot. It was still winnable, but definitely was a little more favorable if we were still at least on 4th and short. I think you really kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. But there's something Matt Ryan does on this play that I do not like. So let's go into it. On this play, 4th down and 9, right about here, he has 2 wide receivers literally just wide open. Russell Gage, and I can't really make out who that other receiver is. I think it's Brandon Powell? I can't really make that out. But either way, he has 2 receivers wide open. And for some reason, he decides to throw it to Julio Jones double covered. He did not need to do that. You might say, oh, well, in game-winning drives, the best thing to do is to throw it to your best player. Sure, that is the best thing to do. But it is not the only thing you need to do. You are telling me that none of these 2 receivers would have caught it. Yes, there were a lot of drop passes in this game, but surely our receivers are not this freaking bad to drop a wide open catch. Like they're not this freaking bad. I think Russell Gage and whoever that is on the other side, I think that's Brandon Powell. Those two players are not that freaking bad to drop a wide open pass. Russell Gage made two excellent freaking grabs late in the game. I can't remember, I don't think it was on this drive, but it was definitely late in the game. But I did not like what Matt Ryan did here because he did not need to throw it to Julio Jones. What's happening is that he's a little too hopeful he's going to catch this. He's just a little too dependent here that he's going to catch it when all he really needed to do was to throw it to one of those two receivers and get a first down. Because we still had a little bit of time left to, run out the clock and score. We did not need to score a touchdown. We could have just, threw it to one of these two players. He made that more difficult than it should have, and I did not like that. There's two other games that I did not like that he did either, and this first one is against the Panthers. This was going to tie the game. 3rd down and 4. Frankly, this was not a good call by Cutter. Just no one is open. Literally, you have no one open. Now, this is what I did not like from Matt Ryan. I don't know why, if no one is open, he just kind of decides to throw this anyway. Dude, that was not going to work. No one was open. Why would you try to throw it to him anyway? He had to literally throw that so freaking perfect to make this work. But, just come on, that was not going to work. I did not like that from Matt Ryan. He should have either thrown it away, because it's not like on 4th and 4, it was the worst thing ever. You still had a chance to make some sort of play call to either get a touchdown or at least get close to it, like 1st and goal. Or, honestly, it wasn't even the end of the world to kick a field goal, because it's not like the Panthers' offense was great that game. You could have just, kicked the field goal and then, try again. But for some reason, Matt Ryan just thinks the best thing to do is to just throw it, when that was not going to work. Not a good decision by Ryan. And then this last one was against the Bears. On 2nd down and 4, his best receiver is Calvin Ridley. Okay. Well, was that your best decision to throw it to? I don't think so, because, look. It's not that Calvin Ridley was covered super, super well, but he had to throw that perfect. Perfect to make that work. Because you still have to worry about two defenders right in front of him. They could have easily tracked that ball down, and it seems to me like they almost kind of knew he was going to throw it to him. Or those two defenders knew he was going to throw it to him. When the better decision to me could have been throwing it to Olamide Zaccheaus to the left. That would not have been that hard of a throw, to be honest with you. Or if you throw it to Hayden Hurst, who's running, I think, an out route, that would not have been that bad of a decision either. All you have to do is throw it to him, and who cares if you're on 3rd and inches? It's better than throwing an interception. But Matt Ryan, for this throw, he has to throw this perfect. Actually perfect to make this work. When he didn't need to do that. All he needed to do was throw it to Olamide Zaccheaus or Hayden Hurst. That's my criticism on Matt Ryan so far in 2020. He is making the game, deciding drive a lot more difficult than it needs to be when he doesn't need to do that. And I hope he changes that moving forward. That is my criticism on Matt Ryan. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will see you guys with a video this Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. I love and appreciate you all for the support, and as always, rise up.